morning. This is Scott Cullen, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report. It's Fridays with Frank time, and this is part two of our discussion about Livewire, Frank's earlier publication that kind of brought to the imaging industry breaking news in his own inimitable way. And Frank continues the conversation we had last week with more stories about the early days, or at least the 1999 December issue of Livewire.
So I marveled at all the freaking meetings we used to go to. And I'm looking through reports from COMDEX, CBOL, and of course, BTA. We've been going, NOMDA, BTA forever. Over the course of a year, we easily attend a half a dozen of these types of meetings. And it's just so interesting as to what was, for me, what was vibrant and so important. Of course, in 1999, it was analog to digital. That was the big thing. And of course, dealers were being told they'll never be able to connect machines to a network. There's no way dealers can do that. And surprises me, dealers are still being told they can't do certain things. But that beat goes on. I took out one that related to a study that we had received that was supporting a theme by HP at that time, and Carly Fiorina was the president, and I had attended an HP meeting, and she laid this all out, that this is the development of the internet. It brings on a whole new world, and they they used as a basis a study, which I'll just give you a couple of highlights. Some statistics the study uncovered included Generation Y will be 34% more reserved in their social skills than Generation X. This is referring to use of the internet. Generation Y will participate 22% fewer physical activities and competitive sports than Generation X. Generation Y will score. This is all as a result of the internet. Generation Y will score lower in spelling, punctuation, and grammar than any other generation. I thought that was cool. And then, of course, you get into, at that 1999, a big story was Xerox buying Tektronix. And my first experience with Anne Mulcahy. She was COO of Xerox at that time. And as I've mentioned in previous Fridays with Frank, I had world of respect for that person. Incredibly able executive. She had the presence of, I subsequently learned from our good friend Jan Daly, who you remember Jan used to be the person that kind of took care of us and so forth.
Absolutely.
And of course was very close to Anne. And she told me later on, she said, right after that press conference, or prior to or right after, close to the period where they made the announcement, she said she had a meeting with all the senior people at Xerox and said, we're buying this company. Obviously, it was $1 billion investment, which was huge. In a business they totally were never successful in, the low end retail, which is basically what Tektronix was providing. And she just uttered a phrase that just resonated right on down, and she kept using it too. She said, let Tektronix be Tektronix. Leave them alone. Don't try to make them Xerox. They are not. She said the same thing when they acquired Global. She said, let Global be Global. And as you well know, Global, prior to the Icon fiasco, was delivering 50% of the profit to Xerox. And they were at $2 billion. Total revenue for Xerox that year was $17 billion, and they were providing 50% of it. That's how good that transition was because of Anne Mulcahy. And you kind of get a kick out of reading stuff where you read that we noted here in one of these issues that segment 4 was the hottest selling area for digital. Why? have a clue, but that was relevant at that time. And I think I'm very proud of Livewire for the simple reason I think we predated the internet. Because what we were doing, we was delivering directly to the customer, virtually within a day or two after we got the news to them. So you could say that we were a little bit, I don't mind touting what I've done and I'm proud of. You can say we were a little bit prescient, and I am proud of that. That's my story about Livewire.